What's up, guys? I got the keys here, back with another video. So today the subject is stop trying to manifest things. And you know, in the past I would tell you, go ahead and try this thing, try to manifest this thing, et cetera, et cetera. But as I come along in this journey, you're really not manifesting anything. You're remembering it, right? And so, like, even though we're going to use the word manifest, just to explain it to you, but obviously, yes, you're manifesting things, but it's not in the way that you think it is, right? It's like, okay, I know this thing is coming. I know it's already here for me in my field, and all I'm doing is materializing it. So, we think we're manifesting like, oh, this thing's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, but it never shows up, right? So this happens with money a lot. Typically, this is one of the harder things to, remember that we're worthy of, and that we're allowed to have money, and it's not bad to have money, and it's okay to be rich and wealthy and have prosperity in your life. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So, it's almost just a state of knowing that everything that you want, desire, or, need will be here on the exact time that you decide that you want it, you choose it, and you know exactly what you want, right? So, like, haven't you ever noticed that when you become very clear on something, it ends up manifesting, and you've almost given up on it at that point, right? It's the funny part of manifesting where it's paradoxical. It's like, oh, you want this thing so bad, but the moment you give up on it is when it shows up. So, this is that process of letting things go, detachment, right? And because you already know it's here, you're like, okay, I can let this go. I can give it up to God, and God will bring it whenever I'm destined to get that, right? And this isn't in a way of like, waiting for things, but like, obviously it depends on your personal nervous system. It depends on your ability to have faith, which also attends to your nervous system, right? So if your nervous system cannot hold something in its capacity, you're not going to receive it, okay? Because you may not be energetically ready for that yet. So, the universe will block things from coming, not to punish you or to put the world against you in a way, okay? But to realign you with the energy that would bring that thing in, right? So, like for me, I've been focusing on, getting my teeth cleaned up, getting them fixed, right? Even though there's nothing wrong with them, it's just, something that would improve my confidence, right? So I've been focusing on that. I've been focusing on taking care of my hair, right? Because I noticed, I was losing hair and I wanted to know why. So I started studying people that regrew their hair and how they did it. And I started taking steps to do that thing, right? So this is process of manifesting, okay? Because you first have the idea, then you can imagine it, and then you start getting the things in your field that will bring you the information on how to get it, or how to do it, or how to be it, okay? So, for the hair thing, I started learning what can I use to regrow hair. How do I, open up the pores on the head to regrow those hair follicles in, right? With teeth, I just kept envisioning myself with good teeth, me smiling all the time, people complimenting me on my teeth, etc. And this is how I imagined it after the process has already been done, right? So I'm imagining myself with a full head of hair and with beautiful teeth, right? So I am that person now. And so the universe has to bring things in to align with that. Therefore, it brought me a job that I now have insurance. I can go get my teeth done, right? I can go get them checked, and whatever needs cleaned or fixed or whatever can be now done, and it doesn't cost me a shit ton of money, right? So we don't realize the little ways that God brings us things that we once wished for, right? Um, and even in the past, when I was living with my friend and I wanted an apartment, I wanted to get my own apartment. I was sleeping on his couch. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to get there. It took me almost a year and a half to probably get my own apartment, just because of my nervous system was not ready to hold the energy of having my own apartment yet, right? I didn't assume that identity yet. So once I finally got confirmation from somebody, there's this girl that came in my life, and she basically said to me, hey, like, it's not as hard as you think it is, like, you'll be okay. And that gave me the confidence to go and just start applying for apartments, right? Just even start looking, right? Because if you're not even looking for the things that you're trying to achieve, how are you going to get them? Right? So all of us want money. We all want to start a business. We all want to do this and that and this, but we don't ever take the steps to get there, right? We get afraid, and our mind tells us, oh, you're not worthy of that. You can't do that. That's going to be too hard. Money doesn't come like that. It doesn't come easy. But that's all bullshit, right? Because you create your reality. Therefore, whatever you think, believe, and have faith in is what happens, right? So, if you believe that money comes out of nowhere and it's easy to get, then it's going to be easy to get. It's going to come out of nowhere. Now, it might not be right that day or right that second, right? But, money is such a universal thing. You have no idea how you could get money. I've said this before. You can find it on the ground. You win a lottery ticket. You get a promotion. You get a bonus at work. Somebody just gifts you money for whatever reason. Maybe you had some past family member, and they had a will and they gave you money from there. Or maybe you overpaid on a bill and you get money back, right? There's so many ways that the universe can bring stuff to you, right? And so when we start looking for these ways of abundance, and that's in everything, not just money, right? There's an abundance of jobs. There's an abundance of partners. There's an abundance of friends. There's an abundance of vehicles, apartments, right? Everything. Just look around you. There's an abundance of trees, abundance of animals, abundance of air, abundance of water. And, we get lost in the world sometimes, and we assume that it has to go one certain way. And our mind gets stuck in a loop of, oh, well, this is what I've experienced, so this is what I'm going to continue to experience. But if we come from the heart where everything exists, right? So you use that treasure in your chest, right? That's why they call it a chest, right? Because it holds the treasure. It holds the gold. It holds your soul, right? And that displays your quantum field, right? The field around your body, which is the soul. So this is the amazing part about God, is that, we have such a limited idea of what God is, right? And so when you know that God is everything, don't you think that God could bring you anything from anywhere at any time? Do you not believe that? Do you really think God is limited in some way? Right? Now, we may be limited as human beings, right? But the ultimate power of the universe obviously has no restrictions. It made the universe, right? So if it made you, it made the universe, and it's intimately tied in with you, which means you are one, you are it, right? That means there's no separation. That means you create your reality, right? Not the human self, not the human body self of you, right? But the soul part of you, right? That integrates with the all, right? The Father. So I and the Father are one, right? But my Father is greater. Okay? So when you're combined these two, you have the ultimate power to attract anything that you want. Right? But the power is in not wanting it, and that's the funny part. And this is why they say to not be, like, when they say not to be materialistic, right? It's not saying you shouldn't want those things, like, intimately, but it's also saying, like, in a way, yes, you shouldn't want them, because by wanting them, you're creating a lack of I don't have those things already. You see what I'm saying? So when I use the word want or desire, I'm simply saying it in a way um, to say that you already have it, right? The things that you want, you already have. Okay. So, and when you realize that, that's when they start to flow in, and you're like, okay, well, I don't want them anymore because I already have them, right? So it's like, why would I want it if I already have it? It's the same way you go out to your car every morning. You don't want a car because you already have a car. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same idea when you're manifesting something, right? You're really just remembering that you already have it. It's already yours, and you just have to keep persisting, in your everyday life, and it'll come when you're ready. When you simply know your body and your vessel is ready to accept that manifestation, the physical thing of the spiritual thing, right? So I hope this video helped you in some way, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.